Well, hello out there. Well, you've seen this picture before, so let's just run it on slideshow. Take it one by one. And this is how it will look. And this is some disgusting chemtrails in Indianapolis, Indiana. You've seen them before, but I thought they were worth showing again because they're ghastly. And that's something I'm very used to seeing while I'm driving out here in good old America, to say the least. It seemed to me like it's getting worse, the chemtrailing. And what I have noticed is that New York, New Jersey, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois are being totally bombarded. But I also see it in Texas, even though down in Texas we still have some sort of a deep blue sky. And yeah, what can I say? They're hiding something. But I've been thinking about this term that they're calling in geoengineering. They're calling it solar management. Well, the solar management, I believe, is a cover for that. Now the sun's rays, because of yeah, that's true, right? He's a bastard. But our magnetosphere is no longer providing the necessary protection here on Earth. So they will have to put something up in the atmosphere in order to minimize the intake of harmful UV rays, UVA and UVB rays, and also cosmic rays. So that's under the program of solar management, and I actually believe that's the aluminum that is having the major component in that task. That's just my opinion, because it's a highly reflective material when it's sprayed out into the atmosphere. And here I'm driving in Missouri on I-70 on my way to Denver, and you can see how much shit there is in the atmosphere with these anti-vespicular clouds or rays that is in the sky, which is quickly being buried of a line of chemtrail. And that's a little further down the road, and it looked like heaven and hell would just come upon me. And this is actually in Kansas. Now, I actually want to stop it for a moment, because I need to explain something right there. Okay, we're going back to the normals. Oh, that was a mistake, I see. Well, let's go them through again, a little fast, hopefully. Come on, it can't take that long. I want to show you something here. Something I noticed out on, yeah, that is fantastic. Which reminds me of Santiago in Chile, which experienced purple sky, which is completely unheard of. I mean, that's just amazing. And this was the sunrise in Frankfort, Indiana. And actually, no more than 20 minutes after taking this picture going down to delivery, the sky on the other side looked like that. And some 15-20 minutes after that, I took a picture towards the sun in the direction of east, and I think that will be the next frame coming up. Yeah, you see, they're all gone all of a sudden. They're just gone. I mean, they vanished out of thin air, literally. So again, fake molecular clouds are created in the morning hours and in the evening hours in order to hide the incoming Nibiru PlanetX. Now I'm tired of using the word Nibiru. I'll just call it PlanetX. Or should we just call it by its real name, Wormwood Red Dragon, because that's what it is. And you can find that in a Revelation. You can find it in Revelation 12. It's mentioned. Okay, let me get over to that frame that I actually stopped at. Yeah, he's a bastard. I don't care. He's a bastard. That's my honest opinion. Bastard. And this is Charleston in West Virginia, and they have promised a severe storm. And I must say that it did look like I'm going into hell right now. But nothing really happened. There was some rain, and then there was some big raindrops and a little wind here and there. But it really didn't turn out to anything significant anyway, even though they warned about that there should be golf-sized ball hail, and there will be a 80% chance that that would actually happen in Kentucky and southern Ohio. But it never turned out to anything. But here I'm on I-70 in Missouri, and we got normal clouds on the sky, as you see in this area. But we, of course, have a line of fake chemtrail cloud right there going through the image, making sure that we cannot see what is next to the sun. And they are always doing that. I see it time after time after time again. Either they are forming some clouds right in front of the sun, or they are making sure that that cloud that they have created, which I call the Canopy, which this is, follows the sun. So the sun never really gets out again and being seen. So we get this weird image, and if there is a white little dot sitting next to it at 3 o'clock, you won't see it. It's buried in there. And as I told you about, this is a very clear example of how our atmosphere is saturated with chemtrails. If we are actually bathing in it, as it's from the top to the bottom, or from the bottom to the top, that our Earth is being completely polluted in the quest of mind control, in the quest of weather modification, in the quest of hiding the red dragon coming in. And as you see, here they actually let the canopy let go of the sun. This is chemtrails, fake clouds, has nothing to do with real clouds. These are masterminded by frequencies, and I actually have a video on my channels called Nibiru, or Chemtrails Hiding Nibiru, and I prove it to you right there, and there's no way that you can dismiss my finding and what I'm showing you. They can control any color that is emerging on the sky, emulate other colors that is not supposed to be there, such as maybe it was a test down in Santiago in Chile that we suddenly have a purple sky, right? But you can see here how much particulates that is actually in the atmosphere. Now the sun is not overpowering, it's right behind that little puff there, and then you can see it with the naked eye, right? You see how much crap there is in the atmosphere because of their constant spraying. It's all over the place. I think the only places that is not really prevailing is out in the oceans. But, you know, there's not really anyone living out there. So why bother spending millions of dollars spraying there? It's more important to spray us like we were insects, like roaches. Well, we are called useless eaters, according to them. Well, in some way, I can give them a little kudo to call us that, because there is a vast majority of the populace of this planet. They're acting like they're completely dumb as cornflakes. So, yeah, I understand in a way how they see us, But there are a few, which will probably only be 1% of us, that is actually seeing the writing on the wall. And they are persecuted. Oh yeah. And they have all the trolls here on YouTube hired to sit here and trying to discredit us. I don't care. Go ahead, stupid trolls. Nice way of making money. Sit on your flat ass and writing absurd and, yeah, downright appalling comments on people. Oh well. Get a life one day. I have a life. I have a job. Oh yeah. And I got a beautiful wife. I got everything I need. I'm full circle. My task is just to try to, you know, as I've said before, shake some trees and maybe some monkeys will fall off the trees and hit their head and wake up off their sleep. Because they are asleep and they need to wake up and look up because your redemption draw nigh. But here we see that this is on I-70 Missouri. I can't exactly say where it is, but some 50 miles outside St. Louis, going west. And you see here now all of a sudden a front is coming in, and this front actually produced hail while I was fueling in Boonville at a pilot truck stop. It started hailing. Out of nowhere, it just started hailing, and the whole sky was just, whoa, looking grim. So I thought, well, I might get swallowed by a tornado today, because hail is, in many cases, an indicator that we have a rotation. But it never really developed anything, thank goodness. Just hail and a lot of rain in a very short period of time. I mean, 5 minutes, and it was drenched in water. So now I'm driving here in Kansas, and what I want you to pay attention to here, that is the clouds here in this picture here. Let me zoom in so you can see them a little clearer. You might be happy being taught a little here. You see, up here on the background, we have the chemtrails. There's no question about what that is. These clouds are artificially manipulated to become clouds. They were originally not even there, but they just appeared slowly. And I'm going to show you that here in a moment too. But pay attention to something here. The background of the chemtrails is white. These clouds here are dark in the edges. And these clouds here is actually in the process of accumulating the vapor in the atmosphere. Yeah, meaning in that point right now, they are controlling precipitation. They are making sure that the precipitation is not falling where it's needed, but it's drifting away and dropping somewhere else where it's not needed, plus it's giving a lot of problems called flooding. And a little later down the road, this is Fort Riley in Kansas, still on I-70. I just wanted to take that picture. They're ready there. And a little later in the image here, and that's no more than half an hour's drive later, you saw the other picture with the clouds, but all of a sudden the whole picture here changes. It's still zooming. Can you see what changed here? The clouds turned white, but the background turned dark. This is the remnant of those clouds you just saw, which have now accumulated a lot of water. That is actually what the chemtrails is designed to do. Some of the agents which is used in the chemtrails, and that is to attract the droplets in the atmosphere and form them into these often cigar-shaped clouds. These are still artificial clouds sitting here, all the white puffies. But you know, it's like the picture just inverted itself. The background became dark, and the clouds became white, where in the other picture the clouds were dark and the background was white. And I was sitting and watching that right there in front of me, and I was just, wow, that's freaking interesting. How is that? And all of a sudden, it was like the sky departed. All these clouds that look like it's going to soon produce something were drifting to north. And here you see the line of it. And it's actually growing in size, this one, and it's beginning to take form almost like an anvil, meaning thunderstorm, bad weather is going to emerge. But I never saw that because I'm going west, I'm not going north. I'm going to Aurora, right outside Denver, Colorado, delivering my load for the Patriots of America. And this is the other side of the road. That's to the south. And these pictures are no more than, I would say, 10 seconds apart. And here you see how the chemtrails are lashing out. And you see how they are forming, and they're beginning to form into what I was saying a moment ago, into these cigar-shaped clouds. You see that? Sorry about the dirt on the window, but that's how it is to drive. You get a dirty windshield. Can't help it. And here you see the cloud is beginning to grow in height. And that's a little later. And in the middle, between those two fronts I showed you, where the chemtrails were over in this side and the big accumulation of cloud is in that side, and in between them we have the characteristic formation of chemtrails. Here's 4 lines actually being created, which is serving a purpose later. And here we got a symbol for deaf food. Yeah, that's what I call it. That you should stay away from. It's very unhealthy. And it's a little later, again, some rest area out there in the middle of nowhere. I mean, if you get to Kansas driving on 70, I mean, if you get lost out there, no one will remember your name. That's how desolate it looks. It's actually beautiful in its own way because it's so untouched by, humans. Humans have a nasty tendency of ruining what is already beautiful. But as you see, it's beginning to accumulate into a canopy cloud. And I'm coming to that. And you see the characteristic lines here again. But this is actually the canopy being created. And you see now the canopy is beginning to stretch over the sky. The chemtrails is beginning to lash in over me. And I had a foul taste of metal in my mouth driving here in Kansas. But you see it's forming. And the sun is up here in this area. Still in the south. Southwest. And while it's up there in the southwest, a ring is around the sun, which Steve Olson has been talking about, that he believes that that is actually something that is in space, not on Earth, inside our atmosphere. I'm coming to that space thing because I have a problem all of a sudden, but don't get me wrong when I present it. And again, the sun is a little blurry, but it still illustrates what we're looking at. And here, that's out in the south. You see the canopy is being built up. It's getting more and more dense in the southern area. And again, stretching out. It's actually raining out here. I'm on my way to Salina. That's what it is, yeah. In Salina, I had to do a stop getting some fresh coffee. I can't do without my coffee. And here the canopy is. In over me now. I mean underneath that canopy. And I have shown you this type of picture many times. The canopy is very thin sheet of clouds, but they are so dense that you see that light can hardly penetrate them. You see how dark they are on the underside. That means no light is penetrating in this area here. They're just dark, but they're extremely thin. So there's no question about that these clouds are molecular. They are not of natural origin. They're made out of chemtrails. You see that? The sun cannot penetrate. You see how it's cut off in shapes? And I have another picture showing that in a moment. Coming from Michigan in Imlay City, Wade, or I can't remember his YouTube name. But he already know, and I'm sorry to hear about your condition being a plumber and you having that condition with your lungs. And I can only say I can pray for you, and it ain't gonna help anything on your lungs that they're spraying all this crap in the atmosphere. Unfortunately, they want to get rid of us. Let's just agree on that. I've said a million times they want to kill us. And they're doing a damn good job in killing us. And here you see the canopy. The canopy is no more than maybe, that's my estimate. It's a little difficult when they sit up there in an elevation of 1,000 feet to say exactly how thick that sheet is, but I would estimate by the look of them that they are no more than 100 to 150, maybe 200 feet in height. And as you see, no light penetrates them. No light at all. And you see big, fluffy cumulus nimbus clouds, and the sun is behind them, and that cloud is just shining like a lamp, white. But here, no light comes through. And cumulus nimbus clouds, they look on the sky to you sometimes. Yeah, they're big, okay? They're big, absolutely. But they also seem like they're not that big at all, anyway, because you can see the whole circumference of them. But let me tell you one thing. They're sitting in a height of 3,000 feet from the bottom and stretching up to 15,000 feet of height. You just can't see it from the ground, and that is actually what we're dealing with. So that is a freaking big cloud. And yet the sunlight is able to light up that sky so it looks like a freaking lamp. Do you remember seeing that? Are you already so docile that you just don't care anymore? I do. I care. I care about you. But as you see here, the light cannot penetrate at all. You can see the bottom here, right there, and you can see the top of it. All this is chemtrail-induced clouds. Nothing natural about this. And you see the light cannot penetrate. The sun is right there. Light cannot get through. And here's the sun. You see how deformed it becomes because of the chemtrails. And here it is just a thin sheet. So you can already see how much influence that these particulates is having on actually your outlook, what you're looking at. So do you think you can see the red dragon unless you're damn lucky? Well, more and more pictures are showing up around the world. Webcams are showing oddities that is beyond doubt that there is something there lurking. But you can see how deformed the sun is just by this tiny thin sheet of what I call hair, because it looks like hair in the sky. Let me see what shows up here. Okay, this is I think I'm in Denver now, between, from state border Kansas and all the way into Aurora in Colorado. There's nothing except cows. It's so desolate, it's unbelievable. 190 miles we're driving and there is nothing. Literally nothing. But as you see, the chemtrails are prevailing. The canopy is prevailing. That's out in the south. And here is out in the west. You see how they're forming them. You can see the frequency vibration in the sky, creating these lines, making it look like the ribs of a fish. And here, all of a sudden, something weird is happening. I don't know what is happening. This was strange. This is the canopy cloud which is suddenly being divided. I mean, it looks like someone just threw a knife through it, or a freaking hatchet. Just cut it in two. All of a sudden, it just starts splitting, as you see. And I don't know how long that split is, but it's long. It's very long, because I'm out on the flat plains here. I'm on the high plateau in Kansas, I think, or maybe. Well, it's not the high plateau in Colorado. It's not called that there. But I'm out where you can see for miles and miles and miles. You see a reddish tint in the horizon. Oh, I wonder what is creating that type of light. But see that? It's just splitting up. One part is staying behind and the other one is moving on. And I'm showing you that here in a moment. And again, you can see light can hardly penetrate. And we got weird lines up here inside the chemtrails created. And I wonder what that is. It looks like tubes. Because it was not created by an airplane. Because I didn't see any chemtrail airplane, pretty much. But look at that. There's even a triangle here, right there. Perfect triangle. You see that? And then there's these lines inside. It's like I'm looking at some sort of construct or fabric. It's kind of creepy. And there's something I don't understand about that. And here you see again the canopy. You see how thin it is. Extremely thin. And no light goes through it. And all of a sudden we have something else going on in the sky which is impossible in nature. It's just not possible. Zoom in, come on. Do it. One more. I want to show you something. This is the part that left the other part of the canopy after it got sliced in two. So this is a head. Look at these angles. Square angles. All the way through here we got squares forming this image here. It's not possible, people. Clouds do not come in squares. No matter how you twist and turn it. End of story. I don't want to discuss it. If you want to discuss it, you're talking to a door. I'm right, and you know it. This is Denver. Yeah, this is Denver. They're doing some road work. And you see, now it's starting to, looks like it's beginning to break up. But lo and behold, it was not breaking up. Freaking not. I never saw the mountains when I got into Denver area. It still looks like it's beginning to kind of break up. And you see the cigar-shaped clouds. Saturated with water. And should in reality drip down on us. But it don't. And here I'm taking the picture through polarized sunglasses. And this is where I'm going to prove to you how they're doing it. As I said, there is no chemtrails. They're not out spraying like there's no tomorrow. Not at all. I wanted you to see something here. And you can only see that when you are looking through a set of polarized glasses. That's what I learned myself in 2011-12 time period by driving in Ohio. And I saw the canopy and I saw the backdrop, which I call it, where you can see the horizon. It's so saturated you can't see the end of the horizon. It's like there's this line in the lower horizon just going all the way over in a darker kind of grayish color. But here you can see on the picture here that these clouds are now being formed out of nothing, out of thin air. And you can see the lines stretching out, but they're not yet formed. But you can see the lines stretching out in the image. Zooming one more, hopefully not getting too blurry, but you can see it. And I got one more picture coming of it. There. Here again you can see it. And that's still polarized sunglasses I'm recording it through. You see that? You see those lines, which is very faint, but you see them. And they're in the same elongation as the other lines they follow to become more or less, depending on what they need to use it for. Again, still through the sunglasses. You can see all the chemtrails in the atmosphere now. You can sometimes, without sunglasses, polarized. You can't see it. But as soon as you take the polarized sunglasses on, it's just standing out in your face. I mean, you can see the circumference of what looks like a cloud. But if you take the sunglasses off, you don't see it. But as soon as you put them on again, ding! It's like the movie They Live. You see them. They're right there. And in most cases, all of a sudden, they became a cloud out of thin air. And there's no water around it. There's no evaporation around it to create the cloud. It is created artificially in order to obscure our sky. Because they know we need to look up. So they know they will have to do whatever it takes to hide it. And now I couldn't help myself. That's pretty much the only thing you see when you're driving towards Denver in Colorado. There's some moo cows standing around grazing. And these cows here, they got such beautiful brown color. Oh man, it's gorgeous. They're beautiful. But you see now, the sky is completely overcast. Just plain boring. And I'm shutting down in Aurora, and I'm delivering the day after. And when I wake up in the freaking morning, where I'm going to Thornton, where I'm at right now, what is there? It's snowing. Late April, it's snowing. I was actually asking them, are you sure this is spring? Oh yeah, that's just Colorado for you. And here we got the purple sky. Very strange. Very, 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 very strange color. But as I said proving in my video, Chemtrails hiding Nibiru, they are able, with the chemtrails, whatever agents they have in it. We know a lot of the agents which we have in it. We have antimony, we got titanium, we got aluminum, we got barium, we got strontium, residue of mercury has been found, arsenic, cadmium. Oh, there's more. But they're all in the heavy metal group. And barium is a highly combustible substance. It's a metal, but it don't look like a metal, but it is a metal, and it's found in the ground. And aluminum comes from lithium. Oh, lithium. Well, the government was talking about putting lithium in our drinking water in order to make us happy. Oh, I'm so happy I could poop. Right? But who says that they're not able to spray lithium in the atmosphere for you to breathe into your lungs, into your bloodstream, and voila! You couldn't give a rat's ass about what's in the sky, because you're just happy, pacified. So we are having a purple sky in Chile, Santiago. Some is talking about it might be pollution. Not pollution. Not, repeat, not pollution. Okay? It's not coming from a fire. But where is it coming from, that color? As I say in my Nibiru cloak with chemtrails, or chemtrails hiding Nibiru, I got 2 videos of it on my channels, because I want to make sure you understand what I'm talking about. They are able to emulate any color or take out any color in the sky that they see fit. Comprende? Hope so. I prove it to you. There's nothing you can do about it. It's right there in your face. purple sky. Santiago, Chile. It's weird. I would get freaking freaked out if I saw that. All of a sudden here in America, purple sky like that. I mean, I would say, whoa, what's going on here? That ain't good. Right? That is bizarre. Never happened before, but now we see it. What's causing that? Chemtrails or the red dragon? I don't know. And here's some more snow. This is freaking crazy. And again, I sent this to Steve also. He never responded on it. I'm sad he didn't do that. Okay, next frame. I hope. That's from Imlay City in Michigan. That is the picture from Wade. And it's pretty much looked like one of the pictures I showed you here in the beginning of the video of the sunrise. But this is something we are seeing very often. That the sky is just broken up with these elongated, fake chemtrail clouds. You see a lot of light penetrating, but you don't know if there's two light sources there. You just can't see it. But there might just be. And that's why they're doing that. Completely disfigure the entire sky for you. And here again, disfiguration of our sky. Again, you see these cigar-shaped chemtrail clouds. There's no question about it. It's right there in your face. And here again, the chemtrails. You see the canopy is up here in the background. These are the clouds. This is winter, I see. But as you see, above the clouds, the canopy is there. And what is the canopy doing? It is completely excluding the light and shaping our sun. You see that? You see the structure in those clouds up there? It looks like something you could walk on. Literally. And it looks like a face, like a demon freaking eating the sun. Man, that is a strong picture. That looks like a demon. Whoa, man. Wait. You got that picture at the exact right moment. It looks like a freaking serpent. Look at that. It's coming out there from the bottom there. And then it's disgusting, deformed demon head. Big mouth, and big eyes, and horns, and you name it. Man. Wow. Wait. I must say that is... Wow, that's a picture now. I didn't see that until now. Man, that's downright scary looking. I mean, just, come on! What's going on? This is absurd. I mean, we need to just stay on that one. Go back. Come on. I have something I need to read to you. Man, look at this demon. Wow. Flee from me. In the name of Yeshua, flee from me. Okay. Yesterday I saw a video. And I'm not going to go into a debate about it. But I just want to point something out. While you're looking at this demon. Right there. Now, I saw a program or video, a 19-minute video yesterday called Go Fast, of a rocket launch into space. Some Christian rocket amateurs decided with GoPro cameras to figure out what the heck is going on. I am pretty sure you can go find the video by do a video search called Go Fast, GoPro, and there will be a 20-minute video of that presentation. And something happens in that video that really baffles me too, like they were baffled, and I'm still, what's going on with that? I really don't get it. I really don't get it. But as he pointed out, a Bible verse in the book of Genesis. I got two from the book of Genesis. Okay? And the first one is coming up here. Let me find it. And it's in Genesis chapter 1. Let's just start from the beginning, and then I'll get to it. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, giving our planet life. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness, day and night. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. Okay? And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear," and it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and gathered together all the waters, called he seas. And God saw it was good. Now, in this rocket launch, something weird is happening. This rocket is traveling with 3,000 miles per hour. Straight up. Not horizontally like you see all NASA's and ESA's rocket launches, where they are breaking off and starting to go in horizontal direction. You can go backtrack that. Even Saturn V5, the so-called moon landing rocket, did that. It didn't go straight out. No, it broke off in this angle and became horizontal flight, not vertical flight, which we would find natural in order to get into space. Now, this GoPro or GoPro rocket is filming the entire launch from the ground until it hits space. The rocket is spinning madly on the entire ascent into space. And as soon as it hits space, the sound is gone, and the rocket instantaneously stops spinning, and it instantaneously kind of just stop. I mean, just stop, not going anywhere, like something stopped it, some force of some sort. And he's actually also have measurement apparatus on this launch. And he's measuring that the upper atmosphere, just before the boundary line between heaven and space, which is the second heaven, he's noticing that the temperature is minus 90 Fahrenheit. That's freaking cold. And as soon as the rocket hits whatever it is it hits, the temperature spikes to 500 Celsius degrees. Just poof, instantaneously, pretty much. In a few seconds, the thermometer is recording a spike up to 500 Celsius degrees. I mean, you touch that, I mean, you'll get a third-degree burn in less than a second. That's how hot it is. So whatever is up there is super hot, very hot. But inside here, between space, the waters, above the waters, and down to the ground, it is frigid cold just before the boundary. And it's getting warmer and warmer the further down you go. right? And he's showing that. And it's not manipulating anything. It's just showing exactly what the cameras are showing. Now, another thing is, we get some confirmation here too. And it says here, that is in Genesis chapter 8. That's during flood of Noah, or the deluge. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. And the waters prevailed, and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. So, where did all that water come from? Well, it's very clear. The water sprung forth from the fountains of the earth. Remember in Genesis 1 that he divided the water with a firmament, so that the water would be under the firmament, and in between the firmament and the water above is where the fowl is flying, birds, airplanes, the second heaven. Or is the first heaven? That's the first heaven. Yeah. But the water is coming up from the ground, flooding the entire planet. Most of it. Some survived. There was giants in the land before and after the flood. They did not all die, but most of it got eradicated. But the scriptures are clear upon that. So, I mean, Crow 777 is showing something in one of his videos which he's calling the lunar wave. I saw that a long time ago, and I pointed out there's actually another wave that he missed. One is going from the left corner of the image in a 45-degree angle in over the moon. It's very faint, but it's there. And what his image is actually showing, that is, the moon is in water. It's not in free, empty space, vacuum of space. It's in water. And you can clearly see it. You go watch his video on his own channel, but there's a little snippet of it in this video called Go Fast, GoPro camera capturing. I mean, hell, I'll just put the link to that GoPro Fast. And then you can go after that to Crow 777's video, The Lunar Wave, and watch what's happening. Our planets, even our sun, is immersed in water. Now how that works, I honestly don't know. I mean, it requires a lot to fathom the works of our Lord. It does. None of us will understand it. Not as a living human being here on planet Earth. We will never understand fully the ways of our Lord, how he did things. But if you're going up there with him, I'm pretty sure you will have a pretty good idea about all of it. And you will be free to travel around in all of what he has created, all his marvels. I mean, galaxies, nebulas, planets. And Yeshua says in Luke 21 that he will go and prepare a house for us to dwell in. And he also says that my Father has many rooms. Meaning, how I interpret it, we are not the only existence in our universe. There are other places, but again, we are to focus on here and now. What's out there, don't dabble with it. It doesn't matter. What matters here is you are saved. So when the dragon, as you see right there, is coming to take us away, slaughter us, you find Yeshua, you be saved. And the whole Bible is all about that. All of it. Not just some of it. All of it. It's warning us, warning us, warning us. Now, the vast majority of the planet are believing in other idols, other gods, and we have said to God, we don't need you. You understand why he's angry? Do you understand why he's sad that we're doing what we're doing? He gave us all this. And what are we doing? We're just, what is it called? Just snuffing him. We just, we don't even want to say thank you. And he's the one who gave you breath, which is your soul. Over and out. God bless you. Well, as you can see, this is north. That's west. That's our sun, right there. But as you see, they've been building a canopy cloud cover all the way over here, all day long, as I explained on the video, or the first sequence. And unfortunately, I couldn't stop early enough. It's just been a ring around the sun, as usual. Let me go down here towards the south, or east. I want to show you something. I just couldn't help myself. I'm on my way to, Aurora in Colorado. And of course, I got my flag with me. And as you can see here, I'm saying US for sale. Call Hillary or Bernie. Yep. And of course, I got my signs with me. But you can see the canopy all the way over here. And this layer here is no more than maybe a couple of 100 feet thick. And you can just barely see. Let's get away from the sun. You can just see a slight circle. It's not so visible, but you can see it, not being in direct sunlight. Now you can see it, right? You see that? Yeah, I think you can. I hope you can. But that's how it looks. Pretty horrible. And of course I got this one. I can't help it. That's the truth. I haven't been sold in combined American history that many firearms after this bastard got in office. And he is a bastard. Period. It's ghastly, isn't it? I think it is. God bless you.